Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat the Designer, Jason McKie in the building. It is a Wednesday, which means we got to break down the tape of what we saw. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have the tape, which means we get to pick the brain of former Chicago Bears fullback Jason McKie. J-Mac, what's going on, my guy? How you feeling?
What up, Pat? What up, man? Excited. You know, the Bears got another opportunity this week against a team which they definitely will be favored to beat. A team who's struggling, a franchise who's struggling, an organization who we ski masked and still reaping the benefits of a trade, and the haul just keeps getting greater. But these are the games when you go into a game and the expectation is high for you to win. You're supposed to win. You have the superior matchup. On paper. You have the superior talent. You have a franchise that's building. We're building, but we're in a lot better shape than they are, thanks to them helping us. It's a game that it's tough because the preparation this week in practice it can get lax because you're like, hey, we're just going to go in there and win. But these are the type of games that scare me because you have a Panthers team that's willing to get in the win column, and we're already in the win column. We're feeling good about ourselves. We've turned things around offensively. Had another good showing. In the second half, again, back-to-back weeks, the defense is still playing at a high level. So, you're getting a lot of pats on the back, but you still have to go out there and prepare, to win a game, and the Panthers they're going to give us all they can give us, So I don't think, I just hope the mindset up there at Hallis Hall and in that building is still, it's business as usual. Put on that hard hat. Let's attack this thing like we haven't won anything, because at the end of the day, look at the NFC North. This division is awesome this year.
Oh,
and
my God.
It's great to see, Pat. Like, obviously, every weekend I want the Vikings and the Packers and Detroit to lose. But, if you watch that Detroit game Monday night and you look at, what the Vikings are doing and the Packers are obviously always a threat, it's going to be a tough division, man. So we're going to have to stack wins. Winning this division is going to be very tough. So we can't take no game for granted, especially in the NFC matchup. We can't take for granted. So start Sunday, man. Another must win, against should beat.
Yeah, absolutely. A team that you should be able to go out there and dominate. Listen, you've got your best DB on your team in Jalen Johnson, who has seen Andy Dalton, who has faced Andy Dalton in practice. It's not like he forgot all of that. And this is about, usually, as Bears fans we know, and as we've seen Andy Dalton go through, this is usually about the week where it falls off for Andy Dalton, right? Maybe he gets through week one. Maybe he'll get through like a solid half in that second week. And then usually by that third week, it's like, oh, wait, boys, this is Andy Dalton. What are we doing? We could take the ball away from him, especially with the offensive line that he's got in front of him. This Bears defense should be able to eat. I think defensively, this Bears team should be able to come out and really just shut down anything that he wants to do. And offensively, dare I say, this feels like the kind of game, especially with the Panthers, who already had struggling pieces, missing some of their key defenders. This could be a get-right game for the offense, a game where you get to test out some of those deep balls and different things that Caleb Williams hasn't been hitting on, and of course perfect the things that we have seen him do well, which is why I'm glad that we're here on a Wednesday with Jason McKie, because a lot of you guys don't get to talk football with J-Mac like I get to talk football, because and what you realize is that this guy's football mind is phenomenal, and that anytime you throw the tape on, you're going to learn something, even when we're just sitting there in between plays, or in between plays, but in between in breaks during the post game show. If something pops up, we're sitting there looking at it. J-Mac just starts breaking down the film. It's like, I just learned something today. So I want you guys to be able to experience that. So we're going to bring the tape to the Chicago Bears podcast. We're going to break down some of the all 22 plays that I thought really stood out. Most of these are from the second half, because that's when Caleb Williams kind of started to figure it out. Oh no, let me get over here and pause this. Good grief. As just started going, dog. You gotta set the mood here. But J-Mac, we're gonna get things started off here with a nice little pass here to Keenan Allen on the right side. What I love about this play is the speed in which Caleb Williams gets it out. Now, we're doing this all at 70% speed so that J-Mac can break it down as things go through. But 2.1 seconds to get this football out of Caleb Williams' hands into Keenan Allen. His decision-making has been phenomenal. I thought that he read the defense really well on this, and he made the right call. But what'd you see on this play here, J-Mac?
Yeah, I mean, formationally, you start off with, a bunch to the left. You motion over Keenan, right? You're motioning right now. So right now, Caleb's collecting information. He knows his zone because nobody's actually run with Keenan. They just pass it off, and the defense is still playing their zone. 2 high safeties right now. So Caleb comes to the line. You notice he has the information gathered. Now, when we show the back end of this, I know we saw this before. You'll see Matt Pryor point to 51. I think they designate 51, the inside linebacker, as the Mike. We say it's a 6-man protection because Roschon's staying in. He's checking before he gets out in his route. So on the back end right here, all right, you see it's a 4-down look. So you've got 4-down linemen. You see the linebackers just bump over. They don't actually stay with Keenan as he motions over. So right now you'll see Pryor. He points 51. So I think they're IDing 51 as the Mike. So since Roschon's on the weak side, he probably has the will in this. 6-man protection. It's usually a slide man on the backside. So Roschon, I don't know why. See, the thing that confuses me a little bit is Roschon steps in and then he releases out to his route. So right here, normally what you would have, if you have a 6-man protection, the back would be responsible for the will, free safety, or corner if they brought a corner blitz.
Right. Could Roschon have been preparing for 51, possibly blitzing up the middle as right at Coleman Shelton, or is that he shouldn't be worried about that because that would have been Shelton's responsibility there?
Well, really, I think if 51 would have came, then Pryor would end up taking him, because right now, if you look at Braxton, he's locked on number 8 right there, which is the left defensive end. So that's why it's so hard to really, I'm not in the huddle, so I don't know what their protection is. I know it's definitely a 6-man because you have Roschon staying in. But see, Roschon kind of peaks at that mic and then goes out.
Yeah.
Normally if it was a 6-man and the line was to slide to the right, within the backside guard would be responsible for number 1, which would be the first defender to his side, and the backside tackle would be responsible for number 2. And that's the guy that's bull rushing the hell out of Braxton right now. So, the reason why I say, Roschon.
Little Jared Verse action there, J-Mac. Little Jared Verse action.
And Braxton got versed in Jared in that play right there. You see Braxton, not Braxton, but Roschon sets outside, right? And he's running a flat route. So normally when you run your flat route, you check your linebacker. He doesn't come. You'll chip the defensive end if he's on that tackle's edge, and then run your flat route. So, right here on a bull rush, Roschon should be outside. You chip Jared Verse back on to Braxton, or give him some help, or give him some relief from that bull rush, and then run your flat. Then we can go back a little bit. I'll talk about Keenan's route right here.
Hey, please give him some relief.
Man, please. I mean, that's the responsibility as a back. You're the last line of defense. You clean everything up. So we got a motion right here. We know his zone. Like I said before, he motions to somewhat of a stack outside Cole. We got the point designated in Mike. It's 51. So right now, I think that's 37 down there over. I think that's Rome. He would be the will. So right now we got a switch release, and it's just a sit route. So you see the switch release right there where actually Cole runs that little short corner, and then Keenan just loops inside and he settles in that zone right there.
Right.
And that's easy completion for Caleb. Just read it. Keenan does a good job, as he always does, of finding space or manipulating routes to be quarterback friendly. Finds that soft spot in his zone, and Caleb throws an accurate ball to him. Easy completion, well executed play. He knew he had to get it off, because I'm glad to get it off in time. He got pressure off the left side.
Yeah.
But they put the back over there to help Braxton. I just don't know why he set inside like that.
Do you like that play call in the sense of this is pretty much right as the second half is getting going? You're trying to get your rookie QB kind of in a rhythm, coming off a 71-yard first half, solid drive at the end of that first half, but a struggling first half for the most part. Do you like that? Just like, hey, let's just get them going. Let's just get them back in rhythm.
100%. I mean, it's a high percentage play, easy completion. It's an easy read. You've got protection. You've got help off your backside by the back. And normally, what a lot of these teams do is, and here's something in protection, right? If this progression, it has him looking to the right side. Well, most of these teams, what they do is in protection, they want to have three to the quarterback's backside. So three behind Caleb's head right now, which you do. You've got Pryor, you've got Braxton, you've got Roshan, because Caleb's looking to the right.
Right.
And so that just kind of ensures that he's not going to get blindsided. You have three to his backside, high completion, good play against the zone. You got a crafty veteran wide receiver in Keenan Allen, who's run that route many times, who can find a void in the zone in his sleep. And you got a young quarterback that sees it and delivers an accurate ball to Keenan for a great play.
What I love about that is also just going to your safety blanket there. Keenan Allen's the guy that's just, hey, you throw it here, I'm gonna catch it.
Yes, it's throw and catch, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's good football right there.
Absolutely love it, man. Here's this one, a nice little. I think this is supposed to be a screen pass to DeAndre Swift, but doesn't really take advantage of the blocker. Still turns this into a nice play. But what'd you see on this one here, J-Mac?
Yeah, this one I remember. So this is a screen to the right. So first off, you look at that formation again, right? So we just saw that formation in motion, right?
Right.
So you talk about pause it right here for me.
I got you. Wow.
So if you go back, right, we just saw that formation, right? The play before was in bunch. We saw Keenan Allen motion. We saw the switch release by him and Cole. Cole ran the corner. Keenan he settled in the zone, run a little hook route. But the thing is, this is a good play calling because you have a play caller that's understanding, okay, I want to layer my plays, and I want to layer my plays out of the same looks that we've already been running. So we saw that look. We saw bunch left. We saw Keenan motion, right? So the defense, they've seen that play before, right? Okay, what they run on that play, they ran that short corner. They ran Keenan. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the back that's on the same side, right? Now you come back, same formation, same motion. We layer it. Now let's run a screen off it. So if you go back to the beginning of this, I'll break down the screen. So every screen has a landmark. So this is an away screen. So the back starts on one side and ends up going away. He's going to screen to the other side. So every screen has a landmark and every screen has a count. And what I mean by count, usually when this is an away screen, it's usually a 2-count screen, meaning that's how long the offensive line, they're going to set for 2 and they're going to let the pass rush get to the quarterback.
Right.
The running back has to be a good actor in this case, right? So some teams will have him set in the B gap and then slide over. So set in the B gap, 1,001, 1,002, act like he's blocking, and then slide over and get the screen. If you go, this is a good. Is this the play before?
Yeah.
In the landmarks, so if the landmarks are here, so what I mean by landmarks is if you pause it right here, Pat. So every screen has landmarks, right? Landmarks are for the back and for the offensive line. So a landmark, the offensive line has to know where the back is intending to catch the screen, quarterback as well. So normally, if this play is on the hash, and NFL hashes are tighter than high school hashes, I don't know where their landmark would be. I would assume right here with this type of screen, it would be the top of the numbers. So, just inside the top of the 40-yard marker, it would be inside the numbers, and that's where the lineman would get out to. So you always have on the screen, you always have one lineman's pulling for kick out. You have one lineman that's looping back for rat kill. That means anything leaking out late for the quarterback. And then the other lineman will block the alley. So it'll block the most dangerous defender or the support player in the alley.
Right.
So right here, you see the motion by Keenan. So now what do you see different here? Right? You see 37, go back.
Oh, go back. Hold up.
Yeah, so now we see what? 37 running with Keenan.
Right? Yeah.
Story, right? It looks like it could be some type of man coverage. You got 2 safeties high. It could be 2-man. You see the receiver press down at the bottom on, I think that's Rome. He's running with Rome.
Yep, down there.
Yeah, so it's 2-man. It's like a 2-man shell, man underneath. You know what I'm saying? So it's 2-man. So now you see DeAndre starts left. He sets 1,001, 1,002. So you see how he's ahead of the lineman here?
Yeah.
When he's running a screen, he's got to get more lateral width, right? Because you want to catch that ball laterally. Reason why you don't want to be too far ahead of the lineman. You're going to get a penalty. But at the same time, you want to catch that ball and allow the lineman to get out in front of you. Like, you don't have the timing right of a screen when the running back's ahead of the lineman. You know,
Right.
you're going to attack yourself. So if you go back a little bit more, I know it's hard because we're on the all 22 and we don't have the magic clicker that
I don't got the clicker. I don't got the clicker here.
I have the magic clicker that Coach Flus at. See 1001, 1002. See, he should be flat right there. So you see Nate Davis is kind of going wide.
Here you saying.
Yeah, he should be more lateral right here. He should be more like kind of just shuffling down on that 40-yard line as he catches this, because Nate Davis should be ahead of him.
Right.
Right. You see Darnell Wright is rat kill. You see he peels back.
Right.
He slingshots. He peels back. And then you see Nate Davis is leading up. So it looks like Nate Davis would have kick out. Coleman Shelton have the alley. And the cool thing here is I like this design because it's man coverage, the reason why it works. And your receivers and everybody else downfield don't have to block anybody. Why? Because it's man coverage. So they just run them off.
Right. So right. You're just running them away from the play.
They gotta run. The defenders gotta run with those receivers in man coverage. You know what I'm saying? So now you get the screen, 2-count screen. Now you see he cuts it back because look where he is in relationship to the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You see the offensive lineman, they're kind of on the numbers. So I think they're expecting DeAndre's landmark to be on the numbers. Right. But he didn't get any width when he caught that. So now he's too far inside the numbers, and now he's ahead of his offensive lineman. But Swift makes a great cut. You know, he has that lateral ability to make something happen. You know, right here, yep, press it upfield, read the block. Now, right here, I mean, he's just going out of bounds. You know, I would have, went. I mean, it's tough because you got three defenders in front of you. You ain't gonna win that battle. But our old running back coach Tim Spencer, if we went out of bounds, he would cuss us out. So the only way you can run out of bounds if they actually force you out of bounds. I don't think DeAndre was forced out of bounds. So right here, they're looking upfield. I think he should be wider because both Coleman Shelton and Nate Davis are on the numbers. So I'm assuming, I'm not in the huddle, I can only assume that DeAndre Swift's landmark for the screen should be the numbers.
Is it because looking at it from this angle, is it because of how the block is shed by Nate Davis there, and basically I think that's 91 that ends up falling there, that he can't get to the spot that he needs to get to? Does that give him a little leeway that he made a play for it, or is it still, hey, you got to get there?
Go back to, I think what happens here is a couple things. So if you look at on the left side, look at the left tackle. Let's just look at the left tackle. Let's just look at the left tackle. I repeat, let's just look at the left tackle. Let's just look at the left tackle. Now, you don't want your quarterback taking hits on screen. So I think Caleb, he has good pocket presence, good pocket awareness. Yes. He's got to get rid of that ball. And then 91, right? Nate Davis's job is to invite him upfield, right? Let him get through 2-count, 1001, 1002. I let him get upfield. I got to get to my landmark on the screen. I think Caleb feels that pressure, or he knows that matchup that he's been affecting him all game. Gets it out to DeAndre. 91 does a good job of getting up quick after he realized the screen. So I think he had to get that ball off quick. So I think that affected getting to his landmark. And I think DeAndre was like, I got to get out here quick, get my head around. Good play.
Let's just look at the left tackle.
Hey. I'm not saying any names. Everybody knows, but I'm just saying,
Man, listen, it's Braxton Jones, man. I'm saying names. You cannot say names because you got to be on the sideline to see you. I'm saying names, dog. This man got cooked all day.
I can say the names. And I'm not. I mean, it is Braxton. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I mean, it's just the book is out, and that's not just with Braxton. That's what all the offensive linemen. I mean, we're gonna bull rush you.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get bull rushed.
Yeah.
It's a bull rush. It's a bull rush party. Let's bull rush. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the book. I mean, the book is the book. The film tells a story.
Is there any? Because see, I would think the regular fan would watch this and go, the only reason, even talking on the offensive line here, the only reason Pryor doesn't get beat on this play is because your defensive lineman realizes, oh, it's a screen, and so he doesn't rush. But I mean, 55 just cooks him. But is that that's Pryor's job on that, or is that a problem in your mind?
He's got to invite him because it is a screen, but at the same time, I mean, he's got to, you're getting beat. He got beat already, and then and then I think that's Braden Fisk, the rookie.
Yeah.
Right there. He stops because he realizes the screen. He stops and starts redirecting to the screen. Oh, screen! Now I got to go chase it down. I got to redirect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to be firmer because, like I said, there's always counts with these screens. You know, normally this type of screen, an away screen, would be more of a 2-count screen, but it depends. I'm not in the huddle. You know, Shane Waldron may have it a 3 count. It may be a 4 count. Hell, it may be a 1 count with the struggles they've had. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's normally how the anatomy of a screen would break down.
I thought this one was an interesting play because this is a play that, I mean, as we're talking about the offensive line, this is a broken play basically that Caleb Williams salvages. And I think that this speaks to, you know, some of the plays that people feel like we lost by moving on from Justin Fields last season. And I don't think that we lost any of it. I think we have a quarterback who is absolutely elusive, who can make plays downfield, who can keep his eyes downfield, and who does a really good job at extending the play on this one.
Let me see what this one was.
See, breaks out. I mean, just falls over, but nice pass over to DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the beginning. So right now, structurally, you see it's two deep safeties, right?
Yep.
It looks like they're playing. So it looks like they're playing a form of quarters coverage. Now, what happens with quarters is, right? It's you know, everybody's playing a fourth of the field. But now what happens is since this is a 3-by-1 formation, the backside safety, which is the safety that's on the same side as DJ Moore, that corner he can either lock one-on-one DJ Moore into the one receiver side, and then that backside safety, what he can do is he can cross key number 3, that being Cole Kmet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you play, so right now.
and J Mac, let's just say it, J Mac.
What are you talking about? The left tackle?
Look at the left tackle. Look at the left tackle. God dang it, Braxton.
It's actually go all the way back. It actually is not quarter. It actually turns into looks like it turns into 2-man because watch the linebacker. So into the boundary, the corner has DJ, the linebacker has DeAndre. See, follows him all the way across formation. The other linebacker has Cole. The corner has who's the receiver on the 30-yard line? I can't see the number. Who is that?
That is, I want to say that's Keenan. Is that Keenan?
Keenan, yep. See, it's just man coverage. You see it ends up being man. And if you go back, DeAndre does a good job, right? First of all, it's tough for a linebacker to cover man-to-man, especially a back that has the ability of a DeAndre Swift. But a lot of times in man coverage, these linebackers, they want to collision a running back. So if DeAndre was to run a route more to the left, then 51 would try to collision him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's got to try to stick to him, right? It's harder to cover in space. So right now he's just running, you know, he's just bursting away, a burst route away from, he's, you know, starting left and he's going right. We call that a burst. And then he just stair steps him right here to gain some space. So you see how he pressed him upfield and then breaks outside really quick. So you start to give him the illusion that you're going vertical, and then you make a sharp 90-degree turn to break to give yourself space. And when you have a quarterback that can roll out on the move like Caleb does here, not break stride and throw an accurate ball, I mean, that's why he's the #1 pick in the draft, because he can do things like, man, let me burst away. He just makes a play. I mean, he should have been sacked right there, but look at this right here. Full speed, balls on the rope, outside. I mean, he even gets into the spot and gets it there fast enough where DeAndre can actually catch it on the sideline and still turn and get like 2 or 3 yards. Like that's what makes you, you know, a first-round draft pick.
Is
Nate Davis did a good job here. I got to call out Nate Davis.
No, you know what? I said this a lot, and Nate Davis, he struggled a little bit in pass pro today, but Nate Davis coming back in, I thought he did a really good job. While in his time out there, the run blocking was probably where he excelled at in this game. But I thought Nate did a solid job in this game. Not I guess not showing effort. You know what I mean? Like he looked like he cared out there.
Yeah, he did good, man. I mean, man, you get benched and you start realizing that'll you know, your priorities change and your level of intensity, will change.
Is there a point, right? Because is this first team we played? I believe this is the first team we played that had an odd man front. Is there a point in this game where you would say, because we just keep seeing Braxton just get absolutely eviscerated? I mean, almost every play that we're going to show today, you're going to see Braxton get cooked.
Did Houston play? I think Houston had an odd front too, if I'm not mistaken.
Does Houston have? I thought Houston had a 4-3.
Maybe they were a 4-3. I got to go back and look. Everything starts running together, man.
You ain't lying, especially when you keep seeing the same stuff. But is there a point in this where you say, listen, Pryor, you got to help Braxton, or we got to make sure we keep somebody in to help Braxton? Because I mean, this is
this right here. You can't. So all this is that. So this isn't. This is a 4-down front right here. It's not an odd front.
That is 4 down, yeah.
Because what happens is that linebacker number 0, they're designating him as defensive end.
Right.
He's a stand-up linebacker, but if you look at his alignment, right, he's wide. You see what I'm saying? He's wide. He's designated as a DN. Number 8, Jared Verse, is a DN. He's just in like a wide 5, which is outside shaded at tackle. But they're both DNs. And the reason why they get wide is because they just want to condense the pocket. They want to get a full speed rush and to give themselves more space and the ability to be able to, have more moves or get more speed to power in terms of the bull rush on those tackles. That puts a lot of stress on the tackles.
Yeah, 100%.
They it's more space they got to pass protect with. You see Jared Verse, he gets to spin inside. Caleb doing what Caleb does, gets away. Eyes downfield, accurate ball. Like I said, great route by Swift. Him on the linebacker's a mismatch. He runs that check burst away from the linebacker, gets vertical just a little bit, just to not to stair stack him, but to get vertical, to give himself some space. 90-degree break. Caleb puts the ball on the money right on the sideline. It's a great play.
I love it, man. I think we got a guy who, if we don't have to watch the left tackle, I think this kid is going to be a solid player.
But it's the coach's job to do things to help. And he did some things this game.
He did some things I thought in this game to help him out.
Yeah, there were times where you saw, Gerald Everett and, running back, whether it was Roshan or DeAndre in the backfield, and that was just base protection. So when you have a tight end in the backfield, base protection. So if it's a 4-down look, the offensive line, they'll have the 4-down lineman in the mic, and then the tight end will have he's to the strength. So he'll have the Sam linebacker. And what he'll do is if the Sam linebacker doesn't come, he'll chip the defensive end to help that tackle out and then release to a flat or whatever route they designate him as. And then the running back on the opposite side, now he's on the weak side. He'll have the will, the free safety. If the corner comes, possibly the corner, and he'll chip on the way out as well to help that tackle.
Yeah. I thought Shane Waldron, I thought the player execution improved in the second half. I thought Shane Waldron called a game that fit the type of defense you were facing and fit what you were having to deal with for most of the game. I mean, at a certain point, listen, you just got to rely on a guy to do his job. Braxton's got to do his job at a certain point. Like it can't be we got to put somebody behind you every play.
Well, the thing is though, if you have to do that, you have to do that because you got to, we talk about knowing personnel, right? You got to know who you're playing.
Yeah.
You know your own personnel as a coordinator.
Yeah.
And team as players, you know what I mean? And we know Braxton struggles with the bull rush. He even says in his press conference, I struggle against the bull rush. So, you got to give help. You got to give different looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
ever see somebody give a tip away like that in your time in the league? You ever have somebody go up to the podium and be like, you know what I suck at? I really suck at the bull rush. If you guys want to, just get after me.
In this league, though, there's so much film watched, and there's so many, tendencies that we're trying to find and weaknesses that we're trying to find with our opponent. And, defensive coordinators are so smart. Coaches are so smart. Players are so smart. They see the weaknesses. They see fishing at. Oh, he can pass set, but he can't stop a bull rush. Like he lacks a bull rush. And as a player, you know that they're going to attack your weakness. So I've got to get better at where I'm weak at. I got to make my strength stronger, but I've got to turn my weaknesses into strength. So, that's Braxton, man. Like there's some times where he does execute well on the bull rush, but
there is, and I think that's what's so interesting about him. There are times where he's like, "Nah, I got you." Like you're not going anywhere. But I think the tough part is, right, it's usually against the guys that we go, yeah, you should beat him.
Yeah.
Right. When I saw Jared Verse was coming to town, I was like, this ain't gonna go well. I already know what he's gonna do. I didn't think the whole game plan would be I'm going through your chest, because Jared Verse has been a guy who's been, I got to get around this guy. I got to, do what I can, use my speed and different things like that. His plan for Braxton was right there, buddy, right center, right here. I'm going through it, taking your heart on the way through.
This pocket.
We can't only point to all of the great plays that Caleb Williams made, because the deep ball has been a big question for Caleb Williams. So I did want to get some of these in here and see your thoughts on kind of what is leading to Caleb Williams missing on some of these throws. This is the in same drive, but to me, a sure touchdown to Rome Odunze. I mean, when I watch it, I'm like, if you put that on the money, that's a walk-in. You got to be better on that. But what are you seeing when you see this play break down? Oh, apparently I got the wrong play here. Hold on.
Yeah, that was like a run, man. Let me go back.
That is a run. My bad. Before we get to that, we got a DeAndre Swift bouncing out right for a big game.
Yeah, I was looking like, man, let me see what that is. It's like a run.
I had him in the right order. I swear, I just skipped one. Yeah, so this one is Swift. I thought he did a good job getting this out right.
Yeah, this right here, if you go back, it's just inside zone. Which he actually bounces out. So right now you got your tight end off. So you got a doubles formation that tight ends off. The reason why he's off, because on the zone play, if you pause it right here, that's a good block right there. So this right here is pretty much the same play that DeAndre scored on that 36-yard touchdown.
Right. Yes.
It's on the other side. He was just I think he was on the same side as Cole. So this is inside zone. Like now you see the line, they're zoning. They're zoning. They're zoning up to the linebackers. Now, since they're zoning to the right, they leave the defensive end. So if you leave the defensive end, it's a split flow play, meaning the back goes one way, and either the H-back, the tight end, or if a fullback was in there, he's got to go the opposite way because he has to cut off Emo. What is Emo? In man on the line of scrimmage. So you got to cut off the in man because he's unblocked. Now, if this we saw earlier in the game, in which they had zone read, in which Caleb was he was reading the defensive end, and if that defensive end crashed, he pulled the ball and ran outside that DN. Or if that DN feathered, he would hand the zone off, right? So when it's zone read with a quarterback, nobody comes back and blocks the defensive end because we book that. We call that we book it, which means we're booking the defensive end, which means we're reading the defensive end. We're reading what he's doing. If he's crashing, quarterback's pulling that ball, I'm running around the end. If he feathers outside, I'm handing that ball off. So this is inside zone. Cole comes back, cuts to the end. DeAndre bounces this because you see right here, I think there was penetration. He couldn't get inside. Normally, the aiming point on inside zone, it's either the backside leg of the center. It can be the center's butt, or it just depends. You know what I'm saying? You see his initial course is right at the center right here. So watch this. Boom. See his course is right at the center right there. He bounces it. See all that color right there? He can't turn it up. There's no way for him to turn up.
So this is more DeAndre making a play than it is what the play design is.
Yeah, he does a good job of pressing. So pause it right. Leave it paused right here. Right here, pause it. So inside zone. Now, it depends on, what your coordinator wants your aiming point to be. So I like inside zone. I can't give away all my stuff because Friday. But no, so I like inside zone. I like the back reading the backside leg of the center. So this is inside zone to the right. So the play is designed, to go to the right. But your aiming points I like the aiming point the backside leg of the center, which means Coleman Shelton's left leg. Because what happens is, if you zone this off right, you're going to get vertical flow, and that ball is going to cut back right behind. It'll probably cut back like right behind Matt Pryor, depending on how much flow they get.
Right.
Some OCs will say the butt of the center. Some OCs will say the play side leg of the center, which would be Coleman's right leg. Problem is, if you go Coleman's right leg, he's going to have to bounce it anyway, and then it's not really inside zone. That would be more like you'd be more of on an outside zone course. So right here, it looks like he is pressing the left leg of Coleman Shelton right here. You see it right there?
Yep.
You see? So Coleman already zoned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's already zoning up. So really right here, if you look at it, if I was to say this inside zone aiming point had a landmark, I would say, DeAndre, in the perfect world, you get this ball, you run right down at hash. There's color by number 95. There's color by, I think that's number 92. He reads it, okay, Darnell Wright zoning his guy. Darnell Wright doesn't even expect DeAndre to be outside. He's supposed to be inside of that.
Right.
DeAndre just makes the play, bounces it outside.
Love that. I like that because that speaks to, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it feels like that speaks to DeAndre Swift seeing the game better here in week 4 than he has the first 3 weeks. Because you mentioned, right, like when he, of course, that play with DJ has his man basically sealed up in last week's game or week before, 2 weeks ago's game. And DeAndre doesn't bounce it outside enough. He sees it, and you're like, well, he might have been seeing ghosts, might have been seeing something there. He been getting hit in the backfield all day. He might have been expecting that hit, cuts it up a little bit early. This felt like if he's making plays like this, he's seeing the game a little bit better.
Yeah, and this right here, I mean, it's designed to go inside. He had to go outside. There's no way for him to cut that ball upfield. You know, he should be inside on inside zone. It's a great block right there by Cole Kmet. That was actually a better
shout
block.
Out to Cole.
That was a better block than the one he had on the touchdown. You remember the one on the touchdown, the defender fell in, DeAndre had to leap over him.
Yeah.
So this is the same play, that we saw on the touch. And I think DeAndre was he was on the right side, if I'm not mistaken.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it. Love him seeing the game much better here in week 4. Now this, I believe, if I wrote all this stuff down right, is the Rome Odunze overthrow. Where, I mean, listen, like I said, I thought Rome had it. I thought he beat his man, thought it was a good route, and Caleb just misses him. What are you seeing on this one?
Yeah, let me see. I don't remember this play. Let me check this one out.
I thought he actually had some, protection still kind of getting in his face, but just.
Yeah, I think too, was this one that they call PI because he got held?
No, there was no PI. There was no PI, but Caleb wanted it.
Yeah, and he sailed it for sure. Now, here's the thing. So on this play, I'm actually in the back of the end zone. The wind is blowing towards Caleb's face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, to me, and I talked about this on the air after this throw, I think, with the wind in his face, and it was a nice win on Sunday, I think he felt like he had to put more on it because the wind's blowing in his face. But, he has a strong arm. That thing cut straight through the wind. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good route by Rome. I think I need to see, what did he run? Was it an out and up, or if you go to the wide copy, I just need to see what route he ran. Yeah, you see the out and up right there? Out and up. It's a good route. But then he got held a little bit too. But the ball still landed out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's my thing. I thought Rome ran a good route. I thought that he definitely got held. But you're putting that ball where Rome has to make a spectacular catch versus that felt like that should have just been a drop in the bucket type of catch.
It should have been, yeah. And, it's tough. You got a young quarterback, and I know he says he doesn't get nervous, but we've seen him air, a few balls over receivers' heads, and that's just, he's pumped up. I got to make a throw. He's got a good pocket. He sits in there. He was close. He was close. And the way the ball, I'm gonna mess up this word, trajectory.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
It looked like he's trying to layer that ball to Rome's outside shoulder. You know what I'm saying? He's going to drop it in over his outside shoulder, away from the defender who's inside of Rome, drop it over his right shoulder. And if you look at it from the end zone, when we go back, the ball is there. It's just, he just sailed it. Like, the ball's where it needs to be. It's just, you just put too much juice on it.
It also looks worse when it like hits out of bounds. You forget Rome's like 6'3", 6'4". Like, it's not going to hit out of bounds if it's on the hands of him.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the end zone. Like, I'm facing our left. I would have tried to catch that ball if I was on the other side.
You're taking it back, J-Mac.
I would have tried to catch that ball, man. Yeah, see, it's on his right shoulder where it should be. I'm away from the defender. So he just airmailed it. Like, it's tough, man. They'll get on the same page.
This is the next one. This one is the controversial one that everyone has lost their mind over, and people are freaking out about DJ Moore and Caleb Williams not being on the same page.
A little bit.
Because this is the overthrow to DJ Moore. Very next play, right? They end up kicking a field goal after this. You felt like you could have got points here on 2 back-to-back plays. Yeah. I don't know because you were there, right? I've seen it on TV. I felt like DJ pulled up a little bit. I thought that Caleb also maybe threw the football a little too flat, right? Maybe just tried to lace it in there versus dropping a nice low touch. But what'd you see on this play that kind of stands out to you on a second overthrow that has been, one of the issues that he has? Because DJ beat him.
Yeah, he beat him. Yeah, he just sailed it. He definitely sailed it. Like and like you said, you think you would put a little bit more air on the ball. He threw that like a fastball.
Yeah,
so a fastball, we call it a type 1 ball. You're rifling it in there. Look, watch how it comes out. Yeah, it's in between. Well, I don't know. So he's got to put it on him. He tried to put a little air under it to get it over the defender if he was there. Yeah, for whatever reason he aired it. That's a good. Yeah, see how DJ slows up right there.
That's kind of what I saw. I thought DJ slowed up a little bit, and that might have been a good ball. But I also think that maybe Caleb put a little too much on it. But if DJ's running full speed, he probably gets there.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. Even if he's running full speed, I think it'd be close if he'd get it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if you're running full speed, I mean that would have to be. I don't know, like a diving catch. I think he just put too much on it. So right here, you see split backs right here. Let's see what Cole does. Let's see if he mentions. Nope. So Cole's got a free release. So this right here is still a 6-man protection. Right, just out of split backs. Cole's free. So he's free. So he doesn't even check protection. He just gets out.
Yeah.
DeAndre's checking. See, he's checking linebackers. Now he gets out.
Roshan.
Roshan, he's running outside. If there was anything to chip, he would chip it, then run his route. But yeah, he just sailed that one to DJ.
That one was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I watched that. And that was the one I probably watched the most. I was like, we gotta get this together. Because it just feels like I get it, you're not in sync early on in the season, offense is struggling and stuff like that. But I mean, like that's there. Missing that one hurts.
Yeah, those are tough, man. You got to have those layups.
Now this one, which one is this? Hold on.
I already like the formation. Formation, baby. I don't know if this one stays that way. I don't remember this. Oh, it does. So what is this? So.
Oh yeah, this is the to Cole on that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I did have it all right. Little play action to Cole Kmet on that one.
Yep, little play action. Cole, he's just, the funny thing is, like, see the linebacker runs up, you just break away, run an option route. I think the timing of this ball is good by Caleb, too, because that linebacker is right there. And if you get it out any later, Zero can undercut that ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's a linebacker, but he's really the DN. Just because it's an even front right now, they're counting him as a DN. And I see him watching Caleb's eyes. I mean, that's perfect. You put the ball on Cole Kmet's upfield shoulder so he can catch it and get upfield. That's just great recognition by Caleb. I like the play call. Normally in you're thinking it's going to be some type of run. They have run a lot of lead plays with Cole. But, the changer could be there. Cole, goes through the backside B gap, I think, on this route. Yep, backside B gap, presses linebacker, bursts outside, just a man route.
Boom.
Ball up to the shoulder. Throw and catch.
I love how quick he's getting the football out in these scenarios because once again, I mean, we could say it every play, like I said, but look, you see Jared Verse just absolutely eviscerate Braxton Jones, and that pressure's coming quick. It's almost like he's getting to a point where the clock is sped up in his mind, but it's not rushing him.
Yeah, and I'm going to check out DeAndre on this. So this would be one, too, to where you could tell DeAndre to chip right there. So you could chip on the way out. So you fake, chip on the way out. So he could actually chip Jared Verse on his way out.
Yeah. Just to help Braxton on the outside there.
Yeah.
Is that something the OC has to set in? Is that something you just want DeAndre to kind of know? Like, all right, you're getting killed over here. I got to set that in there.
Anytime in protection this week, the backs, you're checking your linebacker, and we're checking the linebacker, we're chipping and getting out to whatever route I call.
Right.
So it's just a personnel thing, too. If they feel like their tackle can handle that DN one-on-one, then they'll just say, all right, we're going to get out. We're going to go more, 5-man protection, which we call 50 or 51. based upon which way the line slided. We're going to go more 5-man protection. We're going to get you out because we feel like our 5 can block their 5.
Can block their 5 straight up.
And if they do bring 6, one more than we can block, we'll get the ball out quick. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, how things will go based upon, who you're playing, depending on their defensive personnel and stuff like that. So he could have chipped right there and then got to the flat. Yeah.
DeAndre Swift said they didn't bring me here to chip.
Better chip, man. Otherwise you ain't gonna get the ball because he's gonna get sacked. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought this was one of DeAndre's better runs that he actually got just from running the football here. Just did a great job following the blockers, getting upfield on this one.
So this is, I think it's 12 personnel. You got 2 tight ends, and I think you got who's in Mercedes, Lewis, and Cole, I think.
I believe Mercedes and Cole are in on this one, yeah.
12 personnel. They're on the same. Go to the end zone, Pat.
All right. Hold on, let's see. There you go.
All right, yep. So right here you got an even front. You see the overload, 12 personnel, Cole and Mercedes Lewis. We're looking at the screen. It's to they're actually to the offense's left. So the DeAndre's left. You can hit play. Yep, and that's just, I'll go back again. I'm gonna look at the running back's course. Downhill pitch. So you see now he's pressing his aiming point, which would be, I think this is more like outside zone, but just a toss. So his aiming. Yeah. Let me see. Yep, outside leg of the tight end. Now he's pressing the hole, right? We heard Coach Flus talked about it. I've talked about it before, Pat, pressing it into the line of scrimmage, then making your cut. He makes a cut there because Jared Verse has contained, right? Jared Verse has contained. So now he's outside. He takes me off my track. Now I've got to make my cut, get downhill, run with good pad level, right? Good forward lean. See them trying to strip the ball out right there. That's a no-no. So he's on the ground, but the ball's still out. So if you're a running back coach, you still get a minus for that because the ball still came loose. Protect the ball at all times, even though he's down by contact, but still, you don't want to give them hope because now they're going to start stripping the ball even more.
Right, because they feel like they can get at it.
Yes, downhill toss. You see Mercedes and Braxton, good. Who's that? Mercedes? Yep, so that's a good triple right there. With triple is just a zone call for the tackle and tight end, zoning up to the linebacker. That was a good call, right? That was a good play right there. Good read by DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that play. I mean, listen, just block it with as many bigs as you can.
Yep.
So good stuff there. I thought that was some of the best. Now we got to get to the fun plays here. Just seeing Caleb Williams.
Now this right here, right? Man coverage. Let's look at this. Pause it right there. And I interviewed Caleb about this, and we played it on our post game show. Man coverage, right? You want to find your matchups. Football all about matchups, right? So I got DJ Moore lined up at the number 3 spot. Man coverage. Normally in man coverage, the linebacker has number 3. Now I think that's Rosenblum. I think that's his name. I think he's a undrafted guy, undrafted linebacker on, a potential top 10. Some will argue top 15. I don't even think he was in the top 100 receiver, DJ Moore, right? Wasn't in the top 100 last year? I don't think he was. He should.
DJ Moore was not in the top 100, no.
He should be. So he's probably a top 10, top 15 wide receiver in this league against a drafted linebacker in man coverage. So Caleb said, hey, I saw they had a linebacker on DJ. The funny thing is he's reading left to right. So normally in man coverage, I'm looking at my matchup first. I think DJ is running a stick nod route. So he's gonna burst upfield. So he should sell this a little more. So he should sell the stick route, like he's gonna break outside, like running a stick, and then nod to that near goalpost. See how he's lined up with the near goalpost?
Yeah.
To give himself more room. But he breaks the route off short. He rushes it. But then Caleb, that's a great ball. He puts it. The placement of this ball is ridiculous. And
is he rushing it here because, like you said, he's like, oh, I got the linebacker on me. I'm about to cook him.
I don't know why he's rushing it because either way, just think about it. He didn't even really run the stick part of the route. He just basically just ran right past him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a mismatch. So he could actually sold the stick more and then ran an out, and then Caleb wouldn't have to. I mean, Caleb placed that ball perfectly, but it would have been an easier throw for Caleb. But at the end of the day, you got a receiver that has good awareness in terms of where he's at on the field, makes the catch, the back of the end zone, gets 2 feet in. I was right there on that play too. I was surprised Caleb fit that ball in there. You see Cole down there. He's got a coil route coming back inside. The formation is empty, which means nobody's in the backfield. DeAndre Swift is lined up as number 1 receiver. He runs a more must outside release because he knows Cole is selling a stick and running a coil and coming back underneath. So he has a must outside release go route to get that corner to turn his head just in case he wants to go to Cole in that situation. I think Gerald Everett on the backside ran like an option route to where he just presses a linebacker choice route, and he has a choice to go out or in depending on the leverage that linebacker's playing him in man.
I love it. I love it. This showed the growth and the poise to me of Caleb Williams. I mean, you see the pocket closing in, stands in there, see your man, deliver the ball. Like that to me shows the growth that you want to see out of this young man.
Yeah, and the only reason why, I mean, he's looking left first, and based upon matchups, as a quarterback, I'm like, well, I'm going to DJ the whole time. But
yeah,
I don't know if he looks left because that's his progression, or he just looks left to kind of play with the safety and then come back to DJ. You know what I mean? Knowing that he's going to DJ the whole time.
That's a good point because you got Rome over there, you got Gerald over there. Yeah, probably. I maybe like that would be my assumption of it, like trying to fake him off. But I mean, he held the look a long time though. That looked like he was looking for him. I don't know.
But you think about it like this too. I look at it like this. Did I look left to make sure that safety, that backside safety, stayed to my left to give DJ time to run that stick not route? Now I'd have more room to fit that ball in there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's just a great throw. I mean,
beautiful pass. Beautiful pass by Caleb Williams.
Great catch. I mean, great awareness by DJ as well.
Let's finish it out with these last couple plays here because this was an absolute dot by Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet. I was very excited to see this play by Caleb over the middle. Boom.
Yeah, that's a good play, man.
Just beautiful pass.
It's just, I mean, Cole runs like it's like a seam, but it's like a post because he slips in behind the linebacker. And right here, I mean, if you watch this play right here too, look at the action. So linebackers, they have reads, right? They have key reads. And one of their key reads, especially in the gap scheme play, which is like power and stuff like that, the backside guard pulls. So right now it kind of looks like power. You see 51, okay, I got to read that guard pulling. When that guard pulls, it gives Caleb space to layer that ball over 51 right into Cole's hands. And this is a type 2 ball because it's not a bullet. Like a type 1 ball is a bullet pass. Type 2 is like an intermediate ball where you got to layer that ball, just over somebody. And then the type 3 ball is just like, a go ball, like a moon ball.
Is that the kind of ball you would have wanted to see on that DJ Moore overthrow on that, a type 2 probably?
Yeah, more of like a type 2. Yep. He threw it more of like a type 1, like he kind of gunned it in there. So it didn't have that's why it was so far ahead of DJ. I think DJ did slow up a little bit, but if it was more of a type 2 ball, then DJ would have caught it on the run. You know what I'm saying? It had a little air on it. But this is good. I mean, Pryor's pulling, boom, look at 51. Oh, he's like, now I got to get back. It's not power. You know what I'm saying? It's not power. It's not counter. I got to get.
That's where having Tremaine Edmonds in practice has to come in handy, just like getting used to just getting it over him, right? That's probably a pick for Tremaine. But here with 51, you ain't Tremaine Edmonds, man.
So they're faking power right here because watch, go back. They're faking power, right? Power is just a gap scheme run. So just go back right here. Go back to the end zone. And I'll just break down power for you. And the reason why this is open as well. So pause it right here. Right, so power, right? So you've got power, you always have a kick out. You always have a double team. And you always have a puller. So right now, the end man on line, if it was a kick out, Cole will be blocking that. I think that's number 0 right there, that defensive end to his right. Now you got a double team. So you'd have You'd have we call it a deuce, which is the guard and tackle, which would be Nate Davis and Darnell Wright. They would deuce to 51, and then Matt Pryor would pull inside for the first linebacker or linebacker area play side, which would be number 37 right there. So you see the play, right? So you have a kick out goal, you got a double or a deuce, 64, 58 to 51. You got a back block. Coleman Shelton is back blocking over the shade, which is the nose, right out to his left shoulder. And then Pryor would pull and he would loop inside for 37. DeAndre Swift he'd run power and he'd be pressing his ball in the A or B gap. But what happens is watch Cole on this play. He's going to bluff like he's blocking outside, and then he's going to see it, bam, right there. I'm bluffing here. I've got the
bluff power. I like that.
He's bluffing power. We got the pull. 51, oh, it's power. No, it's not. I got to get depth. Look, even 37, he's thinking it's power. And Caleb layers that ball over the hands of 51, right? Perfect spot. So that's a great play by Cole too, right? Selling power. I'm running this post behind power.
I thought that was great. I thought that was phenomenal. And this is the final one. This is the big run. You talked about this run earlier with where basically DeAndre Swift, right? Same play as earlier, but on the other side, it was inside zone on the last one. This one is more coming from the other side. Boom. Gets that block from Cole and just to the races.
So go back. It's always good to look at the runs from the end zone. So it's just a 2-by-2 formation. The tight end's off because remember he's off because it's a split flow play. He has to go backside. He has cut off. So he's got to cut off the end man on the line. That's why it's a split flow play. It's a zone, inside zone. So he's just in the eye right here. It's just inside zone. Go back again. Can you go slow? I just want to see this.
Hold on, let's see. I can slow this down even more for you, J-Mac. Nice. The power of television, dog.
We got to get one of those magic clickers. So go to the end zone. Yeah, this is a great run by DeAndre too, though. Great blocking, great everything. So right here, inside zone, split flow. Bam. You see we're zoning to the right. Backside cut off. So Cole tries to cut the defensive end, 97. He spills back into the play. You see the athleticism and awareness of DeAndre Swift, hurdles. But I got to go back. You got to give Coleman Shelton and all them guys credit because Coleman Shelton did a great job here. Keep going. Boom. Look at that by Coleman Shelton, right? See that? Bam. Look at Braxton. Look at Rome. Like, if you want to have the big runs, the receiver's got to block, right? You look at Rome's block. You see him Rome high stepping in there because I got a good block. And if you want long runs in this league, the receiver's got to be able to block downfield. So that's just everybody execute. The play designed to go to the right. Now, when you're not offset, right, you're going to press the B gap, right? So you're pressing the B gap because I'm in the eye, outside zone. I'm a hurdle defender. They zoned it off, right? They got to their linebackers. You got to work together. When you're having zone schemes, it's all working together. It's zoning to the second level of those linebackers, which they were successful in that aspect. You got the backside split flow cut off by Cole Kmet. He tries a cut block, and he doesn't get a great cut because 97 falls back into the play. But because you got a running back with good awareness and athleticism, boom. 79 Pryor does a good job. Let me hurdle him. North and south, look at the block by Rome, just enough to allow DeAndre Swift to get to the second level. And I think that was a 36-yard touchdown.
And I love the block by Rome on this because you saw him whiff on a couple of them early in that first half, right? Again, I think the mindset of this team just really changed in that second half. The execution, it's not much. It's just a little something, but it's enough to spring that play open.
You look at Coleman and Braxton. And Pryor, like those are really good blocks. Even Pryor, like all of them.
Yeah,
everybody had good blocks here, and that's thing zone. You press it enough, there's going to be holes that's going to open up. So the play is designed to go right, and it cuts. You see, it opens up backside.
Yeah,
you see what I mean? Because the flow is going to the right. If you press it, everything's going to flow that way. The linebackers have to flow that way. If we're flowing to the right offensively, well, the defense has got to flow that way. And that's why a lot of times if you press zone, the cutback opens up backside, but you have to press it. If you don't press it and you cut back too early, them linebackers are just going to stand there.
Right. Because they're going to see it.
They're going to see it.
They already see it.
That was a great block by Rome. I mean, everybody had great blocks. I mean, that's the execution, and that's what you hear, Coach Flues and you hear Coach Waldron and them talking about. Everybody's like, well, why is the run game not successful? Well, we're not executing the details. And then when we do execute the details of the play, we're in the right position. Well, we're not working our fundamentals because we're getting beat physically. You know what I mean? So when you have guys that understand the details of the play, that's everybody, running backs aiming point, offensive line aiming point, right? The calls, who are we blocking? What's the front? Who are we blocking? Are the receivers blocking downfield? Are they making their blocks? Are they executing? You know what I mean? Details, fundamentals, execution. You get a big play like that. You get a 36-yard touchdown by DeAndre Swift.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the great Jason McKie imparting his knowledge onto us. Make sure that you take that to a Dunkin' Donuts and get you a cup of coffee. Hey, listen, I thought that was great. I thought that, the second half, again, you see the execution. And dare I say in that second half, right, it didn't change some of the struggles that the offensive line had. But Caleb is getting to a point where he can navigate the pressure around him, navigate the things that he's seeing. He's understanding when guys are probably going to be coming and what players he has, and he's able to make a decision based off of that. I think that's what this tape shows most of all, that like your young quarterback, your team as a whole is growing, but your young quarterback is really figuring out how to thrive through the pressure, which I wish he didn't have to, but it is good to see.
Yeah, it is. And I know there's been, timing issues with him and a lot of the receivers, but they're going to start getting that timing down. They haven't played but so many games together. He's still getting a feel for how DJ runs his routes. Keenan runs his routes totally different. Rome runs his routes totally different. Cole runs his routes totally different. So it's just timing. And once they get that timing down, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But the main thing is they got to build upon the success they had in the second half last week and bring that into this week.
Yeah, 100%. Let's keep it going, especially versus. Don't y'all dare go out there and lose versus the Panthers. Though.
These are the games I'm scared of, man. They got to make sure that there's a sense of urgency like it was last week. Just because you got to win, we don't relax now. I mean, it's only going to get harder. So we've got to. I mean, this is it.
I need this game to open up with a pick six on Andy Dalton. That's what I need. Hey, Jalen, I'm looking at you, brother.
Yeah,
you know what he gonna throw. You already know what he's throwing.
Balling, man. Balling, man. I want to actually interview Xavier Legette after the game.
bro, Xavier Legette. I ain't gonna lie to you. I said this when
Xavier, bro.
I said this when he first got in the league and everybody started talking to him. I was like, bro, this remind me of one of my cousins, bro. Like this remind me of the fam down south, bro. Like
I grew up with, man. The only thing he's missing is some gold teeth, man. Otherwise, he'd be from the crib, man. I'm today's like Xavier. How was your first touchdown, man? I tell you that, I tell you I tell you, boy.
You know what the funniest thing about it was? Like I had played it on my show when he first talked, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he talked this." I was like, "Do y'all understand what he's saying?" Because he sounds crystal clear to me.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "I don't know what the heck he's saying." I was like, "He sounds like he's just talking normal to me."
Yeah,
like
talking normal. He looking at us like we crazy. What's wrong with these people?
Oh man, what he said was, "Oh man, I tried to act like a tough guy, but when I came out in that game, I had a good time. That's all I knew." I was like, he just I
kept that ball there though,
Hey, he playing too. Xavier Legette got some game. He's somebody Tyree Stevenson better be ready for that matchup. He gonna come to play.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game, man. There's still, I know Shaq Thompson's out with an Achilles.
He's out. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, man, it's a game that you definitely got to get a win. You feel like you can win, but you still got to go out there and do it. Games played on the grass or turf, not on paper.
100%.
Win convincingly, but you got to go out there and earn it. It's the NFL. Think it happens.
On the grass, Andy Dalton put up 21 points against the Bengals, who also don't have a good defense. It's a weird NFL right now. It's a weird NFL. It'll even out. It always evens out, and the Chiefs seem to keep ending up on top. But hey, man, for Jason McKie, it's your boy Pat the Designer. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Make sure you drop a bird down in the chat. One love, bird down.
Bear down.